Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang recently presented at the CES keynote, and one of my favorite products announced there was their Project Digits, which was their CPU GPU combo coming into the desktop space. Now, a lot of investors are worried that this might be bad news for companies like AMD, maybe companies like Intel, as it does kind of combat in the CPU space. So in today's episode, what I want to do is take a closer look at that, obviously, and then some other updates impacting Project Digits. But too long don't watch if you just are curious if this is bad news for AMD and Intel. The final answer is I don't believe this is going to be any bad news, as Nvidia is not really entering the consumer CPU space with this product. It's going to be more of a niche market. But that doesn't mean that the market might react differently based on this news. So let's take a closer look. But before we go any further, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for special comments, for special offers at fool.com/Jose, and check out my daily semiconductor newsletter, whatthechip.happened.com. So let's get started.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
Now we can see the overall market was also down today, but Nvidia, like we've talked about in the past, sometimes there, and this is usually what goes on with a lot of events. When it goes on with a lot of events is you kind of see a nice price action coming before the event, and after the event, investors' expectations were not met, and we kind of see a decrease in the stock price. Regardless, the stock is still doing good. I mean, year to date, the stock is still up over 3%, and after hours, the stock is up as well. Now, other semiconductor stocks didn't take much of a hit. Intel was down roughly was up 0.7%. We also see AMD was down roughly 1.7%. I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were gonna get a bigger bearish reaction on AMD because, as we all know, AMD and Intel both provide solutions in the CPU space. Now, we're also going to see some other stocks that have been impacted by this news is Micron. Micron saw a nice positive reaction after Nvidia's CES keynote because there's going to see a nice influx of overall memory usage from their GPUs, from this Project Digits that we're going to talk about, and obviously from their AI solutions. The final company here is ARM. I thought there would have been some bullish sentiment towards ARM, as we're going to see the CPU GPU combo is using ARM architecture for the CPU. So I was expecting some bullish sentiment here. Now, I am on travel right now, and for the next few days, I think my video production is going to be a little bit slower than normal, but hang with me. I still have so much to cover with Nvidia. We have to look at the financial Q&A analyst session. We have to look at all the other products that were announced at CES. And yeah, anything else happening in the market. I know Jensen kind of said some negative things about the quantum market today that kind of caused the quantum space to kind of crash. I've done a few videos on the quantum computing in the past few days, so make sure to check them out. But yeah, so stay tuned. I have a lot more videos to kind of cover in this next few days as I get settled in my new location for a few weeks. So now let's really jump into the main topic. So Nvidia's Project Digits, which is going to be the world's smallest AI supercomputer capable of running 200 billion parameter models, and is going to be using Nvidia's GB10 super chip. So Nvidia puts the Grace Blackwell on every desk and at every AI developer's fingertips. I did mention when we kind of saw some of the expectations from CES, especially for Nvidia, that if Nvidia was to release a CPU, it was going to be in a very unique niche market. I never thought Nvidia was going to enter the consumer CPU space, right? If they were going to release that CPU, it was going to be in somewhere where they will be able to have high margins, and more importantly, it would be a market that they would have that this kind of CPU GPU combo will allow users to use Nvidia's full potential. And I talked about it, that it would be something that would be used by AI scientists, by engineers, and that's exactly what we got. So let's just look at the price point, and let's just look at the picture here. So this product is kind of resembles an iMac Mini, I believe is what they call it. I'm not too much of an Apple fanboy or Apple buyer, so I wouldn't be too sure. But we can see it's a very, very small product. And this PC is meant to be used by AI scientists to really kind of develop new solutions. We can see that NVIDIA GB10 Grace Blackwell offers a petaflop of AI computing performance for prototyping, fine-tuning, and running large AI models. And this is going to be a great solution, a personal AI supercomputer that provides AI researchers, data scientists, and students worldwide with access to the power of the NVIDIA Grace Blackwell platform. So I want to say this is probably one of my favorite moves from NVIDIA. Not in a long time because they've done a lot recently, but this is something that I really do enjoy. And let me explain why. So obviously, NVIDIA is leading the AI space, and the AI space is pretty much being run in the cloud market. So to kind of develop some form of solutions, you need to really go through all these cloud companies and kind of be familiar with how to kind of use the cloud space to be able to develop stuff in there. Now, if you're trying to kind of reduce the friction, reduce the hurdles, and sorry, I have something on my eye right now. If you're reducing that friction and reducing that hurdle, and now you're allowing more people to enter into the space, they're going to learn how to use NVIDIA software solutions. They're going to learn how to use NVIDIA's AI software stack. And the great thing about that is you're increasing your developer workforce. You're increasing the amount of scientists using this platform. So when they move on to the next place, when they start to move on to bigger and better things, guess what platform they're familiar with? They're going to be familiar with the NVIDIA platform, with NVIDIA AI Enterprise. The other thing that gets me excited is this is going to be if you go to an engineering school, if you're doing some form of engineering degree, I'm pretty sure classes are going to, especially those teaching AI spaces, are going to have these in their laboratories. And again, this is going to teach the students right from the get-go how to use NVIDIA solution. And in my opinion, for a company to continue to grow, you need to maintain that great talent inside your ecosystem. And I think this is what this platform is going to do really, really well. Obviously, I believe it's going to provide great margins because it's going to be a CPU, GPU combo, and NVIDIA will be able to kind of get great margins on both their products. It is a very niche market that there's not going to be competition from AMD or Intel in this space. So it will be at a premium price. And we can see prices are at $3,000 and it should be available in May. So just by this, it's also going to help NVIDIA, right? Because now you have all these new developers working on your platform. You have all these developers creating new libraries. So now the ability, this moat that you have, this CUDA moat and these software libraries that you have that help combat against the AMD and all these ASIC players is getting bigger because now you have more developers making even more and more things. So this was probably one of my favorite things, even though, again, in forms of revenue, in forms of margins, I don't really know how it's gonna truly impact. And what gets me excited is more the force that it's creating. And I kind of talked about it already, right? That force of NVIDIA's continuing to dominate the AI platform space, continue to dominate the platform that developers use. And I'm gonna guess, right? I'm gonna guess companies at OpenAI, at XAI, and all these AI companies are gonna try to buy computers like this if they have the best performance, and I'm pretty sure they are for these AI workloads. So as a AMD investor, I'm pretty much not worried in the long term of things. What I would be worried right now is in the short term of piece where we might see more negative press that, hey, look, NVIDIA is going to eat another market from AMD. I don't think that's the case. I think NVIDIA did what it did best and it created a new market in the CPU space. It's not taking market share because no one has this kind of top level AI supercomputer for the desktop space. So they created a new market and they're going to roll with it. So NVIDIA did what NVIDIA does best. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.